It's the Shitcase Cinema.
Hello Shitcase fans. Now with Halloween just around the corner, I thought I'd do something a little bit different and do Johnny Shitcase's top 10 horror films. So there's going to be no mentions of Looking for Susan, there's going to be no mention of Richard Harrison or his ninjas, there's going to be no mention of Zardoz, because it's just straight up my favourite top 10 horror films. They're in no particular order, so don't say, oh, if he says The Exorcist is number one, he must be an asshole. I'm not going to say The Exorcist is number one. I can't do a top 10 in order. That's why it's all random, okay? So, chill out. So, let's get starting with The Thing, number 10. Classic John Carpenter film, made in 1982. Some real great horror moments in there, and I think the greatest thing it has to offer is just the human elements, like the paranoia levels and the who you can trust. You know, can you trust him, can you not? I think it's just a great film ever since I first saw it. It's got some wonderful special effects in there. It's genuinely scary. And it's got Kurt fucking Russell in it. Okay, number 9, I would have to say The Mist. I think that's a brilliant film. Not many people have seen it, and the people who have seen it always say, oh, the ending ruins it. Why? It doesn't ruin it at all. Now, if you've not seen it, switch this off or just skip a bit because I'm going to ruin it. The ending, I think, is extremely powerful, where Thomas Jane kills his, his neighbours and his friends and his little lad in the car. I think it's extremely powerful. It's heartbreaking, especially then if you'd wait a few seconds when the army rock up. It's like, oh shit! I literally said that the first time I saw it. I was like, oh shit! I was gutted. I was absolutely devastated. There's some good monsters in there. Some good special effects and practical effects. Great cast. There are a few shitty effects in there, like the squiddy thing. I think it's brilliant. If you watch the black and white version, which is on the DVD, that's really good, I think. Kind of a nod to old school 50s horror films like that. So, yeah, give The Mist a look if you've never seen it, because it's based on a Stephen King film, therefore it's fucking awesome. Number 8, I would have to say The Exorcist. Oh, you were going to say The Exorcist is number 1. No, I didn't. I don't know. Some people don't like it, some people do. I think it's a brilliant film. It's genuinely creepy. The music adds so many different aspects to it. It just bolsters it. If you take the music out of The Exorcist, and you know the piece of music I'm talking about, I don't think it has the same impact. It's the same with Halloween. If you take out Carpenter's score for that, Halloween falls flat. There's some great scary moments in there. Reagan's head spinning around, the spider walk. Was that deleted? I can't remember. I think that's a deleted scene, isn't it? Yeah, Max von Sydow looking older than he does now, which is strange considering the film's about 40 years old. But yeah, it was obviously controversial when it came out, and I think it still stands today. It's definitely not for everybody. So yeah, The Exorcist is definitely my top 10. Liquid strength. What are we up to? 7, 6, 5, 7? I don't know. The Shining. I would have to definitely have that in there. Again, some people don't like it. Some people don't like it just for the fact it's a Stanley Kubrick film. I think Jack Nicholson is absolutely fantastic in that. Yet at the same time, you could also say that's just Jack being Jack. He's absolutely maniacally fantastic in that. He's mesmerising. I think he's one of his best performances ever. I think it's generally creepy. Yeah, it does differ from the book, but what film adaptation doesn't? I think if you watch it, you really need to watch it in the dark, in silence, not talking over the top. You really need to get engrossed in it. Again, it's kind of like a bit like The Thing, the whole isolation thing when they get snowed in. Jack just losing his mind. I think there's some great performances in there. It is a little bit slow at times, but I think it also adds to its charm in a way. I think it's a beautiful, beautiful film. I really do. So let's just break things up a little bit. Instead of me rambling all the time, let's have a few words from Shitcase Cinema's very own Maggot Man, telling us some of his top 10, well, not even top 10 because he didn't even get that far, but some of his favourite horror films.
If I were to pick my favourites, I think Psycho would probably be in there. because I mean it's classic. Everyone loves Psycho. I mean, it really is a classic movie. I mean that scene where she's in the shower and you can just see through the shower curtain the door opening, the woman walking in, and then suddenly whips the shower curtain back and it's a classic. It's a classic film, you know, with classic scary moments, and I don't know the sequels as well. Psycho 2, Psycho 3, Psycho 4. I enjoyed them. You know, as a full story, it works for me. One of my other favourites would be Halloween, the first one. Not too keen on any of the others. Halloween 4 was okay, but no, Halloween 1 definitely good. Brilliant cinematography. It's genuine scary moments. I love Nightmare on Elm Street. Sorry, I'll probably get booed off the stage for this, but Child's Play, I actually enjoyed those.
Boo.
Boo, good, boo.
Boo.
Thing, I never count that as a horror movie because, frankly, that ends up in my top 10 of movies full stop. Because it's to me, it's perfect. It is dated in its own way, but it's
Oh, Bruce, you're doing that video.
Fucker.
Stay. Gang, you son of a bitch!
Another one would have to definitely be probably one that not many people have seen. It's another John Carpenter one called In the Mouth of Madness. I think it's a fantastic horror film starring Sam Neill. Jürgen Prochnow's in it, or Prochnow, however you pronounce his name. It's got maniacs, axe-wielding psychos, crazy old grannies, monsters, Sam Neill losing his mind. It's just relentless. It drives you mad watching it. I couldn't get enough of it back in the day. I think it's a fantastic film. If you've never seen it, watch it. Buy it on DVD or rent it or download it or whatever, but watch it. It's fantastic. You will not regret it. Poltergeist would definitely be in there. I think it's one of those nice slow burners from the start. You know, you get engrossed with the family and the friends and the way of living, and before you know it, shit starts flying around, and it's genuinely creepy. And then before you know it, you've got trees eating little boys and dead bodies popping out of the swimming pool and guys pulling his face apart, and yeah, it's fantastic. It's a little bit dated, some of the special effects, but you've got to think it's 1982, so you've just got to look beyond things like that. So yeah, Poltergeist, definitely. Amityville Horror would be in there. I think that's a fantastic performance by Mr. Brolin there. Margaret Kidder's actually really good in that. It's just generally, again, like I've said with a few things, it's a little bit like Poltergeist in a way, but I think it's just a bit more darker and a bit more disturbing in a way. Plus it's apparently based on true events, but what horror film isn't? They always claim it's based on true events. There is actually truth to it, but yeah, definitely go check out the Amityville Horror because I think it's fantastic and it's definitely an underrated horror film. Forgot what number we're up to now, but it's irrelevant because, like I said, they're in no order. Incidentally, I tried to get Professor Bruce to contribute to this, but he doesn't like horror films. He gets scared of them. So basically, this is how it went. Professor Bruce, what would you have to say about your top 10 horror films? That's it. All right, move on. I will probably have to put in Stephen King's It in there as well because, okay, it's a made-for-TV film. It's a little bit dated, but Tim Curry gives a fantastic performance. Man, they stink. Again, it's based on a Stephen King story. Obviously, the book's a hell of a lot stronger. If they made it like the book, it would be banned. I still think it's creepy. It's probably the first film that genuinely gave me nightmares when I saw it when I was younger. I used to wake up screaming, quite literally, dreaming of Pennywise the clown. I think it's a fantastic film, I really do. It's one of those films that I can quote pretty much word for word. So give it a watch. Remember, they all float down here, apparently. How about The Omen? The Omen has to be in there. Again, it's another underrated one, underappreciated, I think. Some great performances in there. It just goes to prove that kids are creepy as hell, and I wouldn't trust them as far as I could throw them. If you've never seen it, go watch it. Again, it's a little bit dated because it's made in the I think it was about 76, something like that. It's a good film though. Go check it out definitely if you've never seen The Omen. So forget about the sequels. You know, even the one with Sam Neill. But go check the first one out. It's a classic. Not the remake, the original. I've totally forgot how many I've talked about. I mean, I could change it and edit this video, but whatever. Other films I do love. Let's just throw in Nightmare on Elm Street. It's a classic. I think it's a great concept. It's one of Wes Craven's early ones. Obviously, it was the birth of Freddy Krueger before things just got absolutely stupid and it became comic relief in the films. I think it's dark. You get to see Johnny Depp die, nice and gory. It's got a little bit of dark humour in there, but only a slight amount. I think it's a great film. So yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street, the original. Well, I'm going to wrap this up because I want another beer. Other films, I'll just reel off a few that I would definitely probably put in my top 20 somewhere. But remember, I can't put them in order because I just can't do things like that. I would have things like Halloween, Event Horizon. I would have Virus, you know, the Donald Sutherland, Jimmy Lee Curtis one. I think that's a great horror film. Most Stephen King ones, you know, even though a bunch of them are crap. I really like Misery, even though it's not a horror as such. It's more of a very dark drama type thing. But I suppose you could class it on the horror. Yeah, there's loads of things I would probably put in there, but I just can't think of any, and frankly, I can't be arsed. So yeah, thanks for watching, and happy Halloween, everybody.